I can pull customers that purchased a vehicle from us, that have positive equity, that have less than 36 months remaining on their term, and I can show them an ad. That right there for creating customer loyalty is huge. And we do the same thing with lease. If you have less than 12 months remaining on your lease, like you're going to see one of our ads on social media.
Let me ask you a question. Did you come here to listen to money or make it? This is L.A. Williams, the Blind Master. And Sean V. Bradley and I came here for one reason and one reason only. That's to fill your pockets with money. Now how we gonna do it? By giving you the secrets, techniques, and strategies for you to stop losing and start winning at this game called automotive professional sales.
Hey everybody, this is Sean V. Bradley, president of Dealer Synergy and the creator of the Millionaire Car Salesman Group. And man, we got a special guest today on the show. Again, I don't know if you guys have heard of the Cochran Automotive Group. There's about 38 rooftops, I believe. And we have the gentleman that's the director of marketing for literally about 7 of these stores. We got Joe Zumpella.
Glad to be here.
All right, my friend. Listen, it's a pleasure. Listen, you came highly recommended. I did my research on you, and I want to just jump right into it. You have an interesting story how you got into the automotive industry, right?
Yeah, it is. So I was actually working at AutoSoft, which is sort of local to the area, and I was killing time with my daughter, and I stopped in to one of our local dealerships and filled out a credit app, and they saw my title, and so the sales manager came out and said, "Hey, our digital marketing director just left. We're looking for someone to fill the void." And he said, "Why don't you come in for an interview?" And at first I was like, no. And so he called me the following Monday and said, "Just come in and talk to us." So I did. And here we are like 2.5 years later.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
Okay, so
that's a funny story.
just fell into it, right? So you never thought
Yeah.
about the automotive industry, and here you are, bam. Tell us about the Cochran Automotive Group. So there's 38 rooftops all over the United States. Is that correct? Or you
Not
guys
all
local?
over the United States. So number one, Cochrane really likes to grow in a specific region. So
Okay.
in Western Pennsylvania, there's about 31. And then we're now in Northeast Ohio with 7 rooftops. So the thought there is, we want to provide greater value to our customers, and we can do that by offering them more choices, better selection. For us, it doesn't make sense to do that and have a dealership in Florida when they're in Ohio or PA and they want to buy a car. So most of these dealerships are all within an hour and a half driving distance of each other. So it enables us to share inventory and do a lot of things that, some of our competitors can't.
Question for you. We work with the Coons Automotive Group. They just got acquired by Asbury for about $2 billion approximately.
Mhm.
And they only have like 19 stores. So if you guys are double that, is it fair to say that it's a multi-billion-dollar organization?
I would guess so. Yeah.
Yeah. So how
Yeah.
does that fit? The reason why I set
About
that question.
1,800 employees now.
Yeah. So what's that like to be a marketing director for a multi-billion-dollar organization? Is that crazy when you think about it, or especially how you got the gig?
It is, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't imagine being where I'm at, if you asked me 2, 3 years ago. A lot of it's getting a little bit lucky, I guess, but it's fantastic. The number one Cochran group, the culture is fantastic. It's family owned, and we get to do a lot of things, like giving back in the community and some really impactful things that is one of the reasons why I love this job.
So on that trajectory, let's keep on that. I just did a major workshop yesterday for the Chicago region of Toyota Manufacturer. There's like 430 attendees on my class yesterday. And I was literally talking about value package proposition. So as a marketer to marketer, I think it's very important that a salesperson, a BDC rep, a manager, owner is able to clearly articulate what is different and better about them compared to everybody else. Not what's wrong with everybody else, but what's different and better. So my question to you is, what makes number one Cochran different and better than most dealerships or dealer groups?
Yeah, so I think, touching on what we just mentioned about giving back in the community, um, that's really important. And for number one Cochrane, our growth in Northeast Ohio all came within 1 year. In January of 2023, the company I was with before Sweeney was acquired. And so those 7 stores popped up real fast. And the community wasn't really aware of who Rob Cochran was or the number one Cochran Automotive Group. So we worked really hard to make sure that everyone knows that we're going to continue to give back in the community. We're going to support the local schools. We support the local university at YSU. That's huge because a lot of the family-owned dealerships that were here, prior, like they were highly involved in the community. And it's a little bit smaller community than a Pittsburgh or a Cleveland. So, word of mouth travels fast. So that's one key area.
Can you elaborate on that? Like specifically, I'll give you an example. So my daughter works for RK Auto Group. RK Chevy is the number one Chevy dealership in the United States for 8 years in a row for making strides for breast cancer. Out of 3,000 Chevy stores, I love dealerships and dealer groups that give back to the community. So, but I want to have just some specific things that you guys do, like
Yeah.
the campaign with us. Can you share some of those with
Yeah,
us?
no, absolutely. So you mentioned breast cancer. We have the Joni Abdu Comprehensive Breast Care Center. It's local to Youngstown, and they put on, it's called a Panerathon, and it's a huge marathon. And we're one of the title sponsors there. We have one of the largest teams. We get hundreds of our employees to come out and run. And then we cap that with a campaign in October that's called Put the Brakes on Breast Cancer, and we raise money there as well. So that's one. Another one that we do with the United Way, the local United Way, we sponsor a care closet at one of the local schools in Boardman, and it's literally right across the street from our dealership. And that care closet provides food, hygiene, clothes, for children in need. Those are just two of them. Right now I'm working with another organization that does a huge diaper drive in May. So, we're looking at doing things like that, anything that we can do just to give back. We're in a community where there is a good amount of need. And we just want to do our small part, and whatever that looks like so that, we can help out.
Let me share this with you because I think that a lot of dealers do things, but they don't talk about it enough. And here's why: some dealers feel, "Well, I'm doing it because I want to be altruistic." I'm not looking for anything behind it, and I respect that. But I think that's not a good thing. I think
Sure.
that dealers, especially a multi-billion-dollar organization, you have such a high platform. If you guys feel something is worthy in your heart to do, I think there's a way to do it. I don't think we should ever say, "Hey, I help kids with cancer, breast cancer, buy a car for me." I too think that's shady.
Right.
However, I do think it's good to be able to tell people these are the things that we believe in. This is our social responsibility, our mission, vision, value statements. So how do you let people know all the amazing things that you do within the organization? Is it just through social media? Is it email marketing? Is it traditional marketing? How do you get the word out, for all these amazing campaigns that you're doing?
Yeah, no, and to your first point, I totally agree. I think like we've always tried to be humble about it, and I think there's a balance between bragging and humbly telling your story. So we do try to go about it from that standpoint. But to get the word out, we do really well with earned media in our market. So, we'll hold a press conference, if there's a large check presentation or something along those lines happening. Our local media is good as far as coming out and covering those types of things. But social
Oh,
media,
stop, pause. pause. We are at a high level, you know what I mean, with our backgrounds and stuff. There, we have literally hundreds of thousands of people that have listened to the podcast. I told you we broke over 1 million downloads, and
Yeah.
there are people at different levels. Listen to what you just said. I want you to unpack that a little bit.
Okay.
Press conference. So for our audience, yes, you know, like think about the local news, the local media, whether it's radio, it's TV, it's newspapers, it's magazines. They're always looking for human interest stories. They're always looking for things in the community. You could literally tap the local media on a PR level and be able to potentially leverage that free media, not to selfishly promote your product, but to get more awareness, more visibility to your cause, which
Sure.
will obviously have an benefit. Can you share, like, how did you learn how to call a press conference, or how do you recommend, you know, dealers that maybe not as big as you, but they have a big heart and they do stuff that might be newsworthy? What is your tips on how do they get a hold of the local media?
Yeah. So one of two ways. One, if you there are PR firms out there that you can work with that will write the press release for you, and they'll contact the right people in the local TV, local newspaper, etc. If you want to do it yourself, one, I would say if you're advertising on TV or on any of these platforms, just ask your sales rep. They'll let you know, here's the email address to the news desk, and you basically just type up your story and you email it over. A lot of times, if it's a great story, they're going to pick it up. It's going to hit the news desk. They're going to pick it up. I will also say that when I send these out, I always copy my sales reps because we do spend a lot of money on TV. So that can have a little bit of an influence too, you know, that says, hey, let's support them. They're doing a really good thing here, you know, and 99% of the time it's a newsworthy story because it's a great human interest piece. You know, it's someone doing good in the community.
Yeah, you know, I think that there's, and I'm so glad you talked about this because this is always freestyle. It's not, you know, pre-planned. And I don't really think that we talk about PR enough. If you think about celebrities, you know, Fortune 100, Fortune 500 corporations, you hear PR firms, publicists, crisis intervention, all this type of stuff. But for whatever crazy reason, a lot of dealerships, they don't realize that there's different levels of marketing, and PR, public relations, is a real thing,
Right.
you know, especially in
And it doesn't cost
sales
you a lot
environment.
of money.
No, not at all. And again, sales is really simple. If you get somebody to like you, trust you, believe you, if they're in the market for a vehicle, they're going to buy from you. This is a relationship thing. I definitely think that dealers need to do more PR, whether it's
Yeah.
with a publicist or a PR firm, or it's just watching a couple YouTube videos or TikTok videos on, you know, PR for dummies. Anything would be,
Yeah.
you know, a worthy start. Okay. Any other things that you would like to share, that you're proud that your organization does, you know, humanitarian wise, charity wise? Just some recent things that you've done that had a really good impact in the community.
Yeah, so one of the things we do in December, and we're actually looking to make it bigger this year, it's called Operation Santa, and we donate $50 for every new vehicle that we sell, to a local charity or organization, you know, for a specific cause. This year was with the United Way, and it supported the care closet that I mentioned earlier. Um, and we raised over $31,000, um, you know, that we donated to United Way, you know, across the entire year. So it's things like that that, you know, they're literally in our backyard. The school is right across the street. And, you know, you're making an impact in your community, and that goes a long way.
Now, question for you. Do you guys have any of this on your website?
We're working on a new page specifically for it. But
Can I show you something?
that is one amazing, great way to get it out. Um,
Let me
it's
show you something, my brother. So this is just one, because I'm going to learn a lot from you. I want to just show you something right here. So again, with Dealer Synergy, my wife and I started our own foundation. It's called Help Because You Can. So watch this. So with Help Because You Can, we literally own helpbecauseYouCan.com, but this is Dealer Synergy /help because you can, right? So we are on the advisory board for Pauly Strong, which is a 503c nonprofit for pediatric cancer. We're a very close friend of mine. He's a car guy. He's an executive with Shift Digital. He lost his 10-year-old son to pediatric cancer. So we're on his board. And so we sponsor that and we support that. In addition to that, check this out. I've been in business for about 20 years now. April will be my 20-year anniversary. I only started doing this the last 9 years. But what we're doing is every time we donate money, minimum money, but then a lot of this we're donating our time, we actually keep them on here. I don't ever use this as a closing tool. I don't ever use this, hey, buy Dealer Synergy because of this. But I want you to just see, these are all the organizations that my company has supported financially. I personally, me and my wife and my family, have raised millions of dollars of our own money. We've donated, plus a lot of our time, on top of supporting other organizations.
Mm-hmm.
Then the site take a while to load up. But then we have individuals. So these are all the organizations that we've supported. And then over here, these are the individual people, it's still loading up, that we've also helped. So when you look at this, this is not even half of the time I've been in business, but I'm able to say, look, Dealer Synergy, part of what our mission is not only helping, dealerships make more money and automotive professionals make more money, but we want to take a portion of the blessings that we have and help people that need to be helped. Hence the name of the organization, Help Because You Can. We help because we're in the position, because. And I can't tell you how many times dealers have said to me when they looked at their website, they were like, Sean, that's amazing. Hey, I don't know if you knew this, but I have a dealer principal, I'm not going to mention name, that suicide affected them, and so you never know how things are going to affect other people. And at the end of the day, it's in my opinion, very, very important to be able to be part of the community, to be part of the message and give that platform. Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally agree. I like the way that this whole page, speaks and is laid out.
And I'm not a multi-billion. I do pretty well, but I'm not at the number one Cochran level. You know what I'm saying? Again, we don't have that many, but yeah. And here's the thing for you, because I know that you're SEO beast, brother. Check this out, and this is a pro tip to you, because I know that you're G'd up at what you do. Think about this: SEO level backlinks, right? So if you're going to donate, it's a very humble request, but what you should do is, if you create a page like this, can you imagine if these organizations backlink to you? What? You know how, think about. Yeah, you see where I'm going with this?
That's a big one that I always ask for, is if you're going to put your logo on your site, can you link to us?
Yes, absolutely. But not if you do. What I would say is, every time you do one of these charity things, respectfully ask them to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, not just if they were going to, because sometimes they don't know to, right? All right. So
No,
speaking
right.
about marketing, let's pivot a little bit here. What would you say is one of the most effective or most successful strategies you have for your 7 stores that you're in command of, marketing wise? What's really big?
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Hey, attention dealers, this is a public service announcement. Have you really looked at your website spend? Look at every dollar that you spend for your website, your search engine optimization, your search engine marketing creation fee or management fee, your Facebook, your social media ads, your social media management fee, and all the APIs that you drive traffic to your website. That could be your credit app, that could be your trade appraisal tool, your digital retailing tool, your chat tool, your AI tool, whatever it is. Think about that. I know dealers that are spending $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 a month for their website and all the traffic to their website, but they're only generating like 50, 60, 80, 100 leads. If you do the math, the average cost per lead, $180, $250, $300 per lead, not per sale. And that's because they have a sufficient website. If you have a bad website, a crappy website that has low time on site, high bounce rates, low leads, low clicks, etc., you need to upgrade your website. For a free strategy session, check out Dealer eProcess. Dealer eProcess is by far the country's top web development provider. They've got thousands of rooftops. They're not owned by a big conglomerate Illuminati company. And here's the cool part. They were invented by a dealer principal. Joe Gillespie, the founder and the owner of the company, is a former dealer principal. So look into him.
Our digital is I think our key differentiator. I think that the search engine marketing that we do, the search engine optimization that we do, it separates ourselves. And we work with a vendor search lab, and I've been working with them specifically both SEM and SEO for 2.5 years now. And it's been a great partnership. And I say partnership because it's actually a partnership and it's not just a vendor. I've had the same account reps, one for SEM and one for SEO. And I talk to each of them multiple times a week, and we learn from each other, we bounce ideas off each other, we talk strategy together. So it has become a partnership that is very valuable. And I think with a lot of the other vendors that I've seen or that I've had experience with, there's a lot of cookie cutter templated type stuff out there. And we really like what Search Lab has done and what they've helped us to achieve thus far.
Well, I'm not sure if you're aware, but I wrote an international best-selling book called Win the Game of Googleopoly. I wrote a book about Google, and I know a little something about Google. I'm going to tell you right now, Greg Gifford is one of the absolute best SEO experts I've ever met, and so he's obviously the VP of Search Lab, and he's their spokesman. But what I find interesting is that, how we're in the automotive industry, there's a search engine industry. There's companies like Moz, Search Engine
Yeah.
Land, and things like that. And the guy that's the executive at Search Lab, he's actually a trainer and on the website for Search Engine Land, and he flies all over the world to do SEO workshops. And that's the guy that you're talking about. So I've actually, called Greg Gifford up personally on my own dealer synergy projects or my Gracie and them projects for things outside the automotive industry. So man, that's awesome. Search Lab is by far one of the absolute best SEO experts out there. But let's just say this. Okay, but here's the challenge though. You have a marketing background, you're good at this, but there's a lot of dealers out there that want to do SEO or do SEM and they don't know much about it. So what happens is they hire a company and it's not the greatest, and then they blame the company. I think personally, and I want your opinion on this, I believe the best relationship is if you have somebody in the dealership like yourself in your position that
Mhm.
understands search engine optimization, you understand search engine marketing, you understand Google Analytics, you have a background in it. And then I love what you said before, you're partnering with these vendors. And
Yeah.
again, the vendor will do heavy lifting, but you should never just be on autopilot with any vendor. Do you agree with what I'm saying, that there needs to be like a symbiotic relationship between a representative of the dealership and this search engine company, if it's Search Lab or whomever it is?
Yeah.
Do you agree with what I'm?
No, I 100% agree. And I think that in a best case scenario that, a dealership would find someone with some type of digital marketing background. I think that will push these vendors to do a lot more than, someone that sits back and just waits for a report to come in their email every month. I think that's where you get in
Absolutely.
trouble. Yeah.
Okay, so now there's obviously a difference between search engine optimization and search engine marketing. So let me give some of our audience that might not know the difference a quick crash course. So search engine optimization is, based on the organic strategy for organic Google, versus search engine marketing is usually the sponsored or paid ads. Now there is multiple levels of search. You have on-site SEO and you have off-site SEO. So on the organic side, you can optimize your website or websites plural, and that's what's called on-site search engine optimization. However, there's off-site SEO, which is basically how you can have other pieces of collateral that get indexed, whether those are your social platforms, those are images, those are articles, those are interviews, those are podcasts, those are, other things besides just the website. So my question is that, obviously working with a company like Search Lab, you have an amazing on-site SEO strategy for your website or websites plural. But what do you do? Do you have a strategy or a I don't know, a campaign that you focus on for offsite SEO for things to index on Google besides just your website?
So one of the things, like you mentioned before, is garnering those valuable backlinks. And
Hmm.
one of the easiest ways to do that is through your sponsorships. You're going to get .org and .edu backlinks, which in Google's eyes are the most valuable. Um, on top of that, we're extremely active on as many social media platforms as you can think of. We've been active on TikTok, we've been active Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, now it's called X, all of them. We're very active, and I think that while we're talking about social media, that's one thing that we've always pushed down to our sales team as well. We've always had someone specifically doing social media. So when we take the time and we go out and we get a ton of great looking pictures of a certain vehicle, we always push our sales team, hey, go on there and share that on your own page. That's one strategy that's worked really well. But I think all of those signals that you're sending Google as an authoritative figure in your local community, all of those things are going to help your SEO.
No, the backlinks, 100% social media. What would you say, number one, Cochran has the biggest audience at, on social platforms? Would it be Facebook, Instagram, TikTok? What do you think you guys are crushing as far as followers and just an audience?
Um, Facebook, Facebook,
Facebook.
we have the most. Yeah,
Okay. And would you say that Facebook is also one of your leading lead gens or opportunities?
it is. Yeah, Facebook
Okay.
and Google from a digital standpoint, those are our top two.
All right, let's stick with Google first, and for search engine marketing, give us some campaign ideas. What type of campaigns are really successful for you on a search engine marketing side, like Google AdWords? What works for you guys?
So we run they were called VLAs, now they're just called vehicle ads. I like running those a lot because it gets down to a VDP level. You're dropping people right to a VDP. So if you think about you're searching for a 2020 Chevy Equinox and
Mhm.
the vehicle listing ads or vehicle ads, they'll come up with a picture of the vehicle, and all the info that you need on the first page of Google right at the top. So if you have enough budget there, that's one that I really like. We also will do, some search campaigns with models. We do a little bit of Performance Max, but not a ton. Performance Max is one where Google will take a bunch of assets that you give it, be it videos, images, logos, little snippets of copy, and it will use its algorithm to jumble those up into whatever ad format it needs. And it can be on YouTube, on Gmail, all across the 7 or 8 different Google properties, wherever they can put an ad. The thing you have to be careful with PMax is it's broad. So you have to check and see what type of conversions you get. Um, Agencies love to report on conversions, and PMax can get you a lot of conversions. However, you need to check those conversions and see which conversion actions are actually getting taken. The other thing I'll say with PMax is you have to watch your placements because if they're not set up right, you could get stuck getting a lot of clicks from mobile apps. You can have a lot of traffic from kids' YouTube channels. So you need to make sure that whoever your search partner is that they're on top of that. Otherwise, you're just wasting dollars.
Okay. Are you doing any type of retargeting? And before we get into social, we're talking about just like Google retargeting for AdWords, your website.
We we are not doing retargeting on Google. Um,
Okay.
I do some on Facebook and I do some display retargeting through another third party.
Okay. What about, would you say geofencing? Are you using any type of geofencing strategies on paid
Not
search?
currently. We have in the past, and it's something that, depending on the situation, we'll intermittently try it here and there. And we've done well with it, but that's something that we'll turn on and off as needed.
Okay. So let's now pivot towards social, like Facebook and Instagram ads. You
Yeah,
said that you do retargeting for social media. How does that work for you?
we do really well on social. We do a lot of retargeting, but we also do a lot of conquesting. We do a lot with the automotive inventory ads, which is just those carousel ads with your vehicle feed. Those work really well with us. The thing I like about Facebook is you can literally target any audience you want and deliver any message you want. So I mean, we'll work with like third-party data providers to, we can do in-market ads for Chevy Equinox, and you can also conquest those same models. If you want to hit Ford Escape people and show them a Chevy Equinox ad, you can do that. So from that standpoint, I really like the ability that you get on Facebook. You can get really creative with your campaigns. And I would say from a budgeting standpoint, like Facebook is close, not quite as high, but close to Google. Like we do spend some money on Facebook.
Okay, so what's really interesting is a lot of people, like you said, they use Facebook and Instagram to target the audiences, and I think that you could get surgical and you get creative. But what about utilizing your own database? I mean, I could imagine how many, just your 7 stores, how many units do you do a month between all 7 stores?
About 800.
Okay, so follow me. And how many freaking ROs do you guys do for the 7 stores? It's got to be a lot, right? A lot more than
Yeah,
800. So my point is, are you uploading your current or past customers or your prospects into Facebook and Instagram's ad manager and actually just targeting your own database in
we
social? Are you doing that?
we do 100%.
Okay, good. Talk to us, because that's even cheaper.
100%.
Like that's a
It's
that's a fraction of the cost, and
yeah,
it's more surgical if people bought from you. So tell us some of the campaigns you do that you have success with.
sure. So because we have 7 stores now, it's a little bit of a painstaking process, but I can pull I can pull customers, retail customers that purchased a vehicle from us, that have positive equity, that have less than, call it, 36 months remaining on their term, and I can show them an ad. That right there for creating customer loyalty is huge. And that's one thing that I think that we've always been very successful on is retaining customers after we get them. And we do the same thing with lease. If you have less than 12 months remaining on your lease, like you're gonna see one of our ads on social media.
Question for you: have you ever done a targeted to your own like customer base for referral generation? Because I believe in Ohio, you're allowed to give bird dogs, correct?
That's a good question. I'm not sure.
I'm almost positive Ohio is not one of the states that prohibits it. I know California and I think maybe Virginia or something like that, but I think that Ohio, you're good. I have a lot of stores in Ohio. So here's an idea. Think about this. Can you imagine if you're targeting on Facebook and Instagram people that purchased vehicles from you before and try to get referrals from them with an incentive, whether it's, hey, $500. I have dealers that have stair step programs that like the first
Yeah.
that they get is, matter of fact, you got to watch this. This is insane. Okay.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do is, and for the people that are going to hear this on the podcast, I'm basically going to go live in a second here to YouTube. And I want you guys to see this video that we created for a single point Chrysler dealership in Kentucky. So I just want you to hopefully get inspired by this. Okay, I'm going to go to YouTube and I'm typing in Dealer Video Production is one of my companies. And we produced this video. Here we go. This is hilarious.
After these messages, we'll be right back. Dealers, GMs, automotive professionals, video is by far the most powerful medium. I'm going to repeat that. Video is the most powerful medium. I mean, video email, video text messages, etc. As a matter of fact, Google prefers video more than anything else. It's the highest piece of algorithm content there is on search engines. Human beings prefer video more than reading, writing, talking, texting. So you should be doing video at your dealership, and the absolute best company to help you with your video strategies is Co-Video. I mean, their name has got the word video in it, Co-Video. So you better get some Co-Video. And as a matter of fact, you can see Co-Video at the upcoming Internet Sales 20 Group 15 conference
April 15th to the 17th in beautiful downtown Baltimore. That's right, Co-Video is going to be speaking and sponsoring again. So guys, if you want to upgrade your dealership's video strategy, automotive professionals, if you want to upgrade your video capabilities, invest into Co-Video. Watch this.
Hello guys, my name is Jay Parks. I'm with Chrysler of Lawrenceburg. We are here today to show a little bit of customer appreciation, as well as for anyone out there who has friends, family, neighbors, co-workers, anybody who is in the market for a vehicle. If you would like to come on down to 1181 Bypass South, Lawrenceburg, Kentucky, to Chrysler of Lawrenceburg. Once again, my name is Jay Parks. You can ask for me. First time you come in or you send in a referral, just make sure they let us know that you sent them. They ask for me. Then what we do is we walk them through the process. We take care of them the same way that we took care of you and your family. First check, we'll cut back a check for $300. The second time you send a customer the deal funds, your check will be for $700. And on the third time, which is always the lucky number here, is 3. You come in, we get the customer handled. We'll take care of you with a check for $1,000, a grand, a band, a rack, a stack. However you'll look at it, you'll ride home happy with your check.
So now, think about this, right?
That's cool.
Yeah, and that's not a social ad. That's just that's a video for CRM and an email and for the website and things like that. But the average cost per sale in advertisement as per NADA is over $640, per car sold. But that's a BS number. All NADA says, okay, the average dealership spends $64,000. The average dealership sells 100 cars at $640 per car sold. But that's ridiculous, because that's saying that every single dollar that's in your ad budget supposedly goes to one of your sales. The reality is some people buy because of your location, because of your franchise, prior customers, they have a car that broke down, etc. My math is the average cost per sale truly is probably between $800 and $1,000 for the average store, if you're really honest with yourself. So I personally don't believe in $50, $100 bird dogs. I think that if you want to leverage the power of the bird dog, what they're doing at that store is amazing. What I would do is take that concept of the video, chop it down to 15 to 20 seconds, and then use that as a targeted ad to your prior customers. Let them know, hey, thank you for purchasing your vehicle from ABC Motors. Just want to let you know, if you refer somebody to us, you could earn up to $1,000. And can you imagine having, social targeted ads? Again, referrals close at a 50% closing ratio, whereas an internet up is like what, 8 to 10% right now. Showroom up is 20 to 25. I would use Facebook and Instagram retargeting to try to get referrals. What do you think about that?
I think that's cool. I think that's a cool idea. I think that's something that people would share on social media.
As a point. All right. So talking about stuff, what other cool things would you like to share with our audience for marketing? Because there's people that are like, my God, here goes a guy that runs 7 stores, part of a multi-billion-dollar dealer group. They're a single point store in Podunk, Louisiana or something like that. What are some of your amazing marketing strategies or tips that you suggest?
Yeah, so here's some, I guess what we call actionable nuggets. I'll start with Facebook first. This is one thing that I didn't realize up until a year or two ago, but I ran across a study that Meta did, and it says that campaigns that are live for over 50 weeks are 65% more effective when compared to campaigns running for just 10 weeks. So that was one thing that I really had to bear down on, because as a marketer, I'm always wanting to tinker with stuff and change things. So that's one thing that I can personally attest to, that we've had campaigns running, evergreen campaigns running for a year or more, and they continue to get better every month. So that's one thing to keep in mind.
Oh, slow down on there, because that was such a good thing.
Yeah.
If I could drop a bomb, sound effect right now, I would. My post guy is going to do that for us. Because a lot of times, dealers change their mind more than Katy Perry changes her clothes, right? They're constantly, if they don't have instant gratification, they're changing it. So that stat, can you repeat that stat one more time for our audience?
Yeah, campaigns that are live for over 50 weeks were 65% more effective when compared to campaigns running for just 10 weeks.
Strong. What else you got? Keep them coming. I love it.
So along same lines, that same study showed that a frequency of 2.25 impressions per week is 80% more effective than just 1 per week. So that's something that I do look at all the time in our Facebook advertising is what is our frequency? And I try not to go over 4 and I try to stay over 2. So that's a good sweet spot. The other thing I'll tell you on Facebook, and this is easy, and I still see not everybody does it, but upload your offline conversions to Facebook, your sold data, and do it at least once a week. Their attribution model is 7 days. So if you do it once a week, it's going to capture more, but it also helps the algorithm learn. So one thing that we use that for, and I'm not as much worried about attribution and saying, hey, it got us 50 or 100 sales, but I look at it, if I'm running 7 campaigns, which one of those 7 is the most effective, and look at them relative to each other. That'll tell me, maybe I should move more budget into this one and move some away from that one. So that's something that's not that hard, that if you're working with a partner, all you have to do is send them your sold data. The other thing we sort of touched on, but going back to community events and charitable contributions, one thing that I will do is use a link from one of the local media, and I'll use that link in a Facebook ad to add credibility to it. So I'll have an ad with a photo of a check presentation, but it'll be a link to our local NBC affiliate with the article written about it. And we'll do awareness campaigns. And sometimes you can get 150,000 impressions for a few $100. But it's a great way to sort of spread the word on social about all the things that you're doing in your community.
So, well, just a quick question. Let's say people listen to this and they don't have the experience that you do. What type of things can they do to be able to get some insight? I know Google has a lot of free classes and courses. Dealer Synergy, my company, we have on Brad the Man an entire social media and digital marketing section. There's obviously Google and there's YouTube. Do you recommend like going to conferences, workshops? Like, what is it that you recommend for somebody that's responsible for marketing or advertising at a dealership that might not have, a master's degree in marketing and advertising? How do they get the knowledge they need so they make good decisions at the dealership?
Yeah, I think going to conferences and workshops and getting your hands dirty, I think you have to be able to invest in yourself. I've been lucky that, I've worked in a dealership group that promotes that sort of thing. But I think going out to these conferences and learning and networking, I've learned a lot just from networking with peers in the automotive industry. And when you go to these conferences, you're going to meet and you're going to network with people that are also doing marketing. And it's amazing how when you get into those types of communities with other marketers, how willing people are to help. I've gotten a lot of help from people across the country, that work in other auto groups. And it really will speed along the process if you're sort of new to marketing or new to the dealership and you want to learn more. And there's dealer principals in these groups down to digital marketing managers, but a lot of them I met when I went to automotive conferences.
Well, speaking of which, the upcoming Internet Sales 20 Group 15, this is our 15th national event, is coming up April 15th to the 17th in Baltimore at the Lord Baltimore Hotel. And I'm really excited that you might be on one of these panels for marketing and lead generation. And this is what I like. We're going to have dealer principals there, like Rob Ruth of Bob Ruth Ford, who went from 75 units on the internet to 320 units a month on the internet at a single point Ford dealership in Pennsylvania. We have Damian Mills, the dealer principal of a 29 rooftop dealer group, and he just bought the Charlotte Hornets from Michael Jordan. Is going to be there. We've got some of the top marketers. Matter of fact, Greg Gifford from Search Lab is going to be one of our key speakers about search engine optimization. But to your point, at our event, not only do we have these national subject matter experts on SEO, websites, marketing, branding, etc., it's people like you that I like on my stage, managers and marketing directors that are able to be on a panel and share what's working and what's not working. So again, we're really excited to have you on the stage, but I also think that you're going to be able to learn a lot too from the other people. I learn a ton
100%.
from each and one of them.
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
100%. And, you know, we're in an industry that moves so fast that no one knows it all. So anytime you can take an opportunity to learn more, I'm all for it.
I got one more question for you. Okay.
Sure.
AI is buzzing throughout the entire industry right now. I'm really curious how you and the number one Cochran Automotive Group are leveraging AI, at least in the it relates to marketing. Are you using Chat GPT for ads? Are you using anything for AI to respond to leads? Like, how are you using AI, if at all?
Yeah, so we are using it a little bit within our marketing department. And for the most basic things, you know, I'll run email copy through it or the ad copy text part of a social media post, you know, we could run through it, things like that. Outside of that, I think that we're treading carefully. I think that there will be an opportunity where maybe it makes sense in off peak or, you know, when we're closed to like help answer like chat leads. We haven't quite gotten there yet, and we're sort of exploring it, but I do think that the importance of a human touch is still better.
Yeah, I think that's awesome. And excuse me, I agree with what you said.
Yeah,
My recommendation is this: absolutely having a human, but I'm using Chat GPT, and I recommend dealers use Chat GPT and artificial intelligence as a tool. So specifically on a marketing level, 100%, let's go through tons of different ideas. One would be, you know, for, like you said, email copy, running it through email copy, running it through, you know, the ads for social media. But then also you could use Chat GPT for templates and scripts for responses. You know how you have like the social media, you know, responses or the instant response, the autoresponders, even
yeah,
CRMs. A couple of things that I'm finding a lot of value: blog post, that, you know, for search engine optimization, being able to write a couple things and say, hey, write me a blog post that is, you know, focused for search engine optimization strategy. We're also started to use like a Chat GPT for actually SEO coding, to be able to ask Chat GPT to be able to come up with the proper H1s,
yeah.
H2s, you know, titles, descriptions with the proper keyword density. You know, and what's cool is that once you understand Chat GPT and the type of prompts, like for me, I'm not at Greg's level, but I'm pretty damn good at search engine optimization. I know what type of verbiage to prompt Chat GPT to do, but I
Yeah,
100% agree with you. I want to caution our audience, it's not fully autonomous where you could just press a button and just accept what it is. You have to really kind of guide it. And sometimes you have to, like, you know, rewrite it a couple times, and you need to basically proofread it and make sure, because sometimes straight up, it just lies. It
you're
just comes up
right.
a random, it's not
You're right.
true.
Yeah, you definitely have to fact check.
For sure. So it's definitely, it's in the beginning stages, but just
Yeah,
having that, I want that, since this is an amazing conversation with you, brother, on marketing, I would be negligent if I didn't at least bring up AI or artificial
yeah.
intelligence or Chat GPT, just to kind of touch on that.
No,
With
for
that being
sure.
said,
Yeah.
what would you like to say to the audience, to the industry that you represent? I'm going to leave the last words for you.
Yeah, I think that the automotive industry, me being new to it, has been incredible. I quickly got addicted to the sales and marketing process and how intricate every single step is. I think that you know, just keep doing what you're doing, and I think that if we continue to put the customer's perspective first and have empathy from that standpoint, that you'll outgrow your competitors.
100%. Listen, it was an honor to be able to have this conversation with you. I appreciate you taking time out of your day to share your experience and your knowledge with our audience. And I am extremely excited to you know, to meet with you in Baltimore in
Absolutely.
April and host you. And we're gonna have a lot of fun. So
Yeah, I'm
stand
looking
by.
forward to it. I'm looking forward to it.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Sean.
So there you have it, the Millionaire Car Salesman Podcast. This podcast comes to you every week from the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. If you have a question about the show or would like the chance to become a guest, feel free to contact us directly at 856-546 888-244-2440 or email us at millionairecarsalesman@gmail.com. This program is a presentation of Synergy Records, produced by Tiana Mick and L.A. Williams. Production and engineering by L.A. Williams. The Millionaire Car Salesman podcast is hosted every week by L.A. Williams and the millionaire car salesman himself, Sean V. Bradley. The Millionaire Car Salesman podcast can be found everywhere, so please don't forget to review, subscribe to, and share the show.